Yeah,
Because it's not the same as when you're driving your car. You're driving your car. You're not racing with the guy next to you. You don't care.
Well,
Go pass
not
on, Pappy. It's
always.
fine. But
Yeah,
not always.
if
Like
there's one parking
that
space
son of a
left in
gun.
Tesco's, it's game
on a
on.
quest where the pixel spins in UK with his charm and Walsey's deep voice. We dive into gaming, it's our favorite choice.
But I don't live in a place where I can go ahead and grow my own pineapple because it would have like a field of them.
Yeah,
I
I'd
love
love to have a
pineapple.
pineapple
Amazing.
field. That'd be cool.
Nostalgia hits hard as we dive into today. In the Sim Shack, we'll talk about it all.
Welcome back to the Sim Shack podcast, where we grind virtual miles and apparently grind ourselves right down to our spines in the process. As always, I have joining me the man who can automate a cave from all of its precious ore, but still can't remember to stretch regularly. It's Wolsey.
What's that stretching? The cave, or how do we stretch a cave? Hi, how's it going there, sir?
It's all going very well, thank you. Tonight's theme is going to be the reality of the grind, because we'll happily sit through a 4-hour gaming session. We'll micromanage crop rotations. We'll hit the nail perfectly every time for that final approach. But when we stand up, that's when simulation ends and the real world begins.
There's a barrier right there. It's like,
There is. There's a post-stream check-in. So, Wolsey, be honest. After a 4-hour session, when you finally stand up from your gaming chair, are you fresh and agile like a 20-year-old boxer? Or does it sound like someone poured Rice Krispies into your joints?
I'm not so bad, I would have to admit. I don't know what's up with me. I'll touch wood to be sure, but I'm not that like hurt. It's like I think because I have to go up down the stairs a lot, and I walk to go put the kids to school and everything. So I do move a lot before I game. Like I don't get up and go game, right? So I think as a parent, we do have that obligation of exercise. But I remember in my old days when I didn't have the kids, and you would wake up in the same room where your computer were, the computer was actually in your room on the other side, and you were
Happy
waking up
days.
barely able to crawl to your computer and say, I have to go back on the World of Warcraft because we have a raid. But those days were painful. How about you?
Well, now it's a bit different for me because I've recently been diagnosed with an arthritis condition, which I'm taking copious medicines for. And arguably, I think they're working. But yeah, I have to admit, I am one of these guys who, when I'm trying to achieve something or learn something new, I am quite capable of sitting in one place, one position for very long periods of time. And when I go to move, there's lots of oohs and ahs and crunches and funny noises coming out of funny places. I never used to believe in ergonomics. I don't know why. I believed in it. I just didn't give it enough praise or enough respect, I think. And maybe
Yeah.
I've suffered as a result of that
Could be.
naivety. Yeah. So where is it for you? Do you have like a special place for pain? Is it the mouse shoulder? Sometimes I get mouse ache, or I feel
Yeah.
with a controller.
I was about to
get
say, I think the
thumb
most
ache.
it's really the shoulder, and it's on my keyboard because as weird as it is, like we talked about this before, we have like our nerves always really close to us, right?
That's right.
The mouse is making bigger movement because we have to move around and so on. But on the left side, for me, that's where it is because I use and I'm looking for all the keys all the time to what we have to trigger as a game that we're doing. An FPS is actually going to be space. They don't go really far all the way to PIO and so on, right?
True.
But when we play simulator games and so on, we have to go to inventory, then pause, then move, and the keys are all over the freaking place. So sometimes I do have that shoulder ache, and I'm going, "Oh man, that was a rough game set." It's not because it's sore; it's really because it seemed to be stiff, like it was blocking. You're nervously pushing W, and yeah. So for me, it's really the shoulder that I feel on this side versus the one on the mouse because my mouse, I have one of those big mat that I don't want to show because it's gross. But I have like one of those big mats where I actually go left and right really high.
This is true, and I notice as well, you always seem to be sat forward rather than in sort
Yeah.
of in your chair.
Yeah, instead of being like, I see a lot of people playing like, I can't do it. I'm always like, because when I was in the military, we had those knee chairs, so that means you have to get your knees
Like the
under you,
Swedish,
and I think I
knee
keep
chairs.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and I think I kept that kind of direction when I'm sitting down. So I always have my knees pulled behind. So I'm always leaning a little bit more forward. My screens are so big, I have to remove them because I have like 32-inch both sides.
Oh,
But
nice.
I'm always like a little bit. I'm not trying to flirt with you, but I'm always have my bum back and always like it's a reflex that I have all the time, and that's why I think my knees are actually having a better circulation when I'm moving.
I think we mentioned this once before in a previous conversation. Both of our chairs are capable of forward tilt, and we like to
Yeah.
have that to improve circulation. I think that really helps, actually. It's one of the most helpful things my chair does, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah, that's the same for mine. It's a really old game chair. We're still looking for sponsor, just a reminder.
Yeah,
But
just
yeah, it's a
make
really
that
old
clear.
chair. But because this is usually my son, who actually, I don't know if you do you have kids? I don't remember. You do have kids, right?
Oh, yes, we have, well, we have 2 that still live in the house with us, but 4 in total, yeah.
So mine is always holding the chair and looking at me play, and then that's what actually kind of ate the screws, like the grooves and everything, because he's leaning on my chair backs here. So he's wasting it more than I do because I don't. I'm always when I'm playing, I'm really going to be going forward, but when I look at video, I might be a little bit more laid back.
I suppose actually that's a valid point because where I'm quite a heavy simmer, I've got a flight sim rig, I've got a driving / racing rig. I've got some very different sort of sitting positions depending on what I'm doing. Racing, for example, is quite often hours upon hours of sitting doing the same thing. So being comfortable is very important. And I always used to look at people and think how pathetic you are, wearing gloves whilst you're sim racing. What a buffoon. But actually, if you don't, it destroys your hands. You'll get all
It must
sweaty
be. I was
and
about to
it'll
say
burn your skin away. Yeah, it's
because it's not the same as when you're driving your car. You're driving your car. You're not racing with the guy next to you. You don't care.
well,
Go pass
not
on, Pappy. It's
always.
fine.
Yeah,
But not always.
if
Like
there's one parking
that
space
son of a
left in
gun.
Tesco's, it's game on.
Exactly. But on sim racing, you have to be like on ball. Like you're actually going to be racing, so you have that stress moment where you're gripping the wheel and trying to, and you think that you're inside. Especially if you have like that design of you having your steering wheel and your pedals and everything. So it must be, yeah, and your body must be tense all the time. So that must ache at one point, isn't it?
It can do, yeah. I think
You know,
once you get a comfortable position, you actually can sit and race for quite a long period of time. But you know, it's only an idiot will deny the fact that you ought to get up and move around at least once an hour or at least once every 90
exactly.
minutes or something, just to stretch things out and make sure they're still working,
I have that excuse here, always trying to go fill my bottle of water. Now I have a big bottle of water because I'm doing longer recording sessions. But usually I was doing just a glass of water that I have to go refill all the time just to be sure I'm getting up and getting like
That's a
some
really good
exercise. And I
idea.
have to go up the stairs and coming back.
My
So
wife
that's one thing.
has started buying these. It's just an empty bottle, but you put in there like orange juice, apple juice, cranberry juice, whatever. And I'm thinking when I expand the shed, I'm going to have a fridge that's full of juices and fruit. And I'm going to have a system whereby a very small bottle, I mean, that's literally, a couple of swigs and that's gone. But that's great because then I can get up and go get another one. And that's going to entice me to keep moving. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Is it really possible to be a healthy gamer without turning to microwave meals or do you eat proper food? Do you plan ahead, or is it just convenience that dictates what you're eating?
be honest here, and I don't take enough attention for that, right? I should be more careful, and I want to actually go ahead and I'm also, as you're redesigning, I'm also trying to rethink my way of being here. But I want to bring a little bit more healthier ways, like change the chip bag with something else. I know that raisins is actually something good, some pistachios and so on. That's going to be already appeal. But the thing is, in reality, when we're playing, we don't have a lot of time because let, let's go. I'm in the sim building game, and let's talk about, like, let's say, Mind Goal. If I have a train of thought, but it's time for me to go ahead and eat, or I want to step away, then when you have something that hits you, you don't want to spend 2 hours in the kitchen trying to, cook everything correctly and so on. Sometimes we just grab something on the go, but I want to put myself like a kind of a menu where it can say, well, if you have those things that are really important in your kitchen and so on, where you want to go ahead and do a meal, you can do it in properly. And also, there's a new thing that has been happening lately, a trend where people are actually making full meal inside of their rice cooker. So you prep them
Right.
on Sunday, you just get the bag, put in the empty it inside of that rice cooker, push the button, and when everything is going to pop, everything is going to be ready. So that'll be cool if I can put, like, next to the mouse maybe or something, get like a rice cooker or even over there, and the office is going to smell like the your food you want to eat and everything. But yeah,
I've often well, I've believed for a very long time the idea that the signal that your body sends your brain when you're hungry is very, very similar to the signal it sends to you when you're thirsty. And people
yeah,
often confuse an I'm thirsty signal with an I'm hungry signal. And they'll
yeah.
tend to go to food before water or juice or whatever. Um,
Hmm.
do you ever drink energy drinks, anything like that, or do you vehemently steer
No,
clear?
I don't. I don't know why, but it keeps me. I have a severe ADHD with hyperactivities, and when I drink those, I don't sleep for like 3 days.
Wow.
One Red Bull, I'm going to be awake for 3 days.
So they work then. It's not a it's not a,
They work
it's
for
not a
sure.
problem with them not working. They work too well.
Not at all. But
What
I'm
a-
not a
what
person
about
that's
what about
a,
coffee? Sorry to interject, but like, normal coffee, does that have the same
that
effect?
makes me sleepy. As weird as it sound.
So caffeine makes you sleepy, or is it caffeine free?
Yeah. Well, it depends on this is actually a caffeine one,
Right.
but it makes me a little bit less active if as weird as it is. I think I train my body to actually, because if I go ahead and drink, for example, a mango and pineapple with coconut water,
Yeah.
that's going to wake me up more than a coffee.
Interesting.
Like, this is also,
So it's the
and as weird
sugars.
as it sounds, it's the sugar, but the pure sugar,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because in my coffee now, lately, I've been switching from the regular sugar to put honey instead of sugar, which is actually healthier.
Right.
And we get goat milk instead in there as well. So that is also a little bit more healthier, but at the same time, I feel more awake. I feel more present and so on, right?
That's very
So
cool.
there's a difference. Having the drink that I usually do with mango and pineapple and the coconut water is actually more about hydration. And the pineapple has so much beneficial into the body that we sometimes forget about it.
Yeah.
But I don't live in a place where I can go ahead and grow my own pineapple because it would have like a field of them. Um,
Yeah.
I
I'd
love
love to have a
pineapple.
pineapple
Amazing.
field. That'd be cool.
Wouldn't it be cool? And
Just grab one on the
and
way
it's
down to
just
the Sim Shack.
exactly.
That'll be
But did
lunch.
you know, if you're an energy drinker,
Yeah.
get apple juice with a mango, and you tell me afterwards how you feel.
I'll
Get a day
mix
where
the
you're gonna
two
get your
together,
energy.
apple and mango together.
Yeah, yeah, apple juice and mango juice, and tell me afterwards, right?
I'll give
Um,
that a try.
in in my studies that I did a lot because I did a lot of studies when I get bored, and I was studying about like all the forgotten um, what's called the forgotten beneficial of every fruit and vegetable, right?
Right.
Because in reality, when we get pills or even caffeine and everything, it's just a higher dose of certain element that we actually do like to eat, right?
Yeah.
But we're
That's
so
yeah. Makes sense.
not smart Because let's say one pill of vitamin C,
Hmm.
in reality, that's going to be concentrate. It's just
Yeah,
4 or 5 orange.
yeah, yeah.
So instead of eating your chips, get 4 or 5 orange.
I remember once. Have you ever been in a situation where you're craving for something? You're like, oh, I desperately need to eat something. I'm not quite sure what it is, but
Hmm.
my body and my brain is telling me that I'm lacking something. I don't know what it is. I was like that for about 2 weeks, and then I ate a tin of pineapple, and I felt all right again. I felt normal,
Yeah.
and yeah, pineapple is. And there are lots of okay. So to diversify this or expand upon this somewhat, do you have a go-to, let's say, lunchtime combo that you rely on superbly? You know it's healthy, you know it's good for you, it's easy to make, it's quick to make. What is it?
Tuna sandwich. A can
Interesting.
of tuna
Yep.
and mayonnaise, 2 slices of bread, and that's filling. It's also a lot of iron and a lot of calcium, omega 3.
I'm 100% with you. I've got to say that my chosen lunchtime equivalent is tuna mayonnaise with red peppers and spring onion. So very
You know what?
similar.
That's not a bad idea.
Mm. I'm just trying to
That's
avoid
pretty
the
good.
bread thing, you see. That's what I'm doing there.
I love bread.
I love bread
I don't
too.
understand. Yeah, it's I know it's because of what is it like the bread is bad because of the I don't remember what it is.
Well, there's a few things. It's supposed to be quite salty.
Yeah, there's a lot
Um,
of sugar now. The bread that we
yeah,
buy from the store.
yeah, and I know the term you're thinking of, and I'm delaying trying to
Yeah,
think of it
we'll
myself.
get both. That's why you guys are getting old. You forget things, even in podcast.
So
In
yeah, let
reality,
us know
it's
in the comments below
gluten.
what it is we're
Gluten.
trying to think of.
Go ahead and put in the comments. It's actually gluten, apparently, and this is where I'm a little bit. I think we just don't exercise as much. We this is the goal of the
Mm,
podcast and the episode today. We usually are going to sit here and playing and everything, but in reality, before we didn't have computer. We were outside all the time. We were digging holes or building something or working and so on.
climbing
Our
trees,
workflow is more
running,
exactly, and our workflow is getting more and more sitting in front of our desk, right?
sedentary.
So
Yeah.
that's why everything is a little bit more important to have a healthier relationship with our body and understanding more of our body and so on, right?
Let's go down that rabbit hole for a minute. We'll talk about some gear, right? We as gamers, as content creators, we've probably spent thousands on our PCs, right? GPUs, trying to get the best refresh rates, best monitors, 2K, 4K, 60 hertz, 120, 180 hertz. This is important stuff for gamers. But do you
No matter the price.
no matter the price, almost, yeah. And yet, now I already know the answer to this question because you and I have spoken about this before. But
Yeah.
the question is going to be how much money or time and effort do you spend on things like getting the correct desk height, getting the correct monitor height, getting the chair correct? Your chair is, let's say, it's slowly reshaping your posture.
Well,
Into
not
what?
really,
I
because I'm
don't
not
know.
spending a lot of time at the back. I'm more like
But I wonder,
I'm
is
really
that
spending.
because your chair is not supporting you in the way it's supposed to be? Do you think you need a more ergonomic chair?
No, well, I don't know. To be honest with you, every time that I get a new chair, that's like the whole my. Let's study my chair here. The whole back here is not as flat. It's around the same height as what it was, so I didn't lose any shape here. My butt here is actually lost shape, but the rest of it, it's not changed shape at all. It's really because when my son is coming, he's leaning on my chair and saying, "What you playing? What you playing?" So it's more of the weight of my child who's actually going on this, and he's 14, by the way, so it's 100 something pound because he's muscular and everything.
Sure.
But I don't put my back too much on my computer's chair.
Do you think maybe
That's where it's going.
an ergonomic chair like a Swedish knee chair would be better for you in that regard?
I think I want to buy one. The more we talk, and I was supposed to get one, and I sometime I want to buy one that's actually used,
And I was going to say another area that I know we've both spent money on, technically for different reasons, but we both own a height adjustable desk.
Yes.
Now, I did it because I have certain simulation kit that requires my desk to be higher or lower or whatever. I can see you're actually moving yours up and down there. I didn't move mine. I didn't move mine because I haven't moved it for so long. I don't know what's connected safely and what isn't. I don't want to start ripping cables out. But I've sort of taken a leaf out of your book because when we first met, you were just setting up your office for the first time. And you had a raised desk and a walking treadmill. And your intention was to walk whilst you were gaming. Or editing or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So when the shed extension is here, I'll be doing exactly that. That is another one of my try and get fitter, healthier type approaches.
However, let me go ahead and warn you on that. That was my intention. It went like off the window really quick because you do need to move precisely. And when you're walking, you can't be moving precisely. So that was actually a fail on that.
So you're finding it too difficult to say game whilst you were...
It's not viable. I think it's a great idea to go ahead because the reality of thing of your mindset is when you actually are starting your day, when you go to your computer, you're supposed to go ahead and kind of brainstorm what you want to do today. Okay, today I want to record for 4 hours and I want to edit for 2 hours and go ahead and draw my stuff that I want to do as a picture for this amount of time. And you could do it within 30 minutes and take a walk with it.
Yeah.
30-minute walk is actually going to do a difference for sure.
Yeah. Now, these are things that probably are going to affect those in their, say, 40s, 50s and above more than others.
Yeah.
Maybe not...
when you were...
Maybe...
When your young age, you can game everything. You don't care about your body posture or anything. We're going to talk about with our friend outside and so on. But the older you get, and the more you're a bit more restricted to where you can be because you have children. You have to actually make the meal for everybody. Even though we do want to go ahead and do a sim game for like 5 or 6 or 20 hours, unfortunately, reality is actually hitting and we have to go cook for the family or you have to go work or you have to do certain things and so on. So we don't have that much of opportunity to go ahead and stay sitting as much, right?
I was just going to say, are there any other sort of ergonomic areas that you can think of?
Well, we talked about the mouse the last time.
Yes,
because the mouse is actually this is my crappy mouse, but I do have like a little curve for my thumb. It also has to be large enough so your hand is not crippled. It has to be extended as much as you can because every part of your body does need a circulation. Don't forget that your blood flow is going through your body and passing again like it's a continuous current.
Do you think it's possible that ergonomic mice and gaming mice can be one in the same? Mm-hmm. In terms of gaming purposes, I like to have a few buttons on the mouse. That does help. I wouldn't say more the merrier necessarily, but certainly some. But I don't think I mean, when you look at these things, always the marketing is, ergonomically designed, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But are they really? I mean, because that, whatever it is, that sort of, that shape, that doesn't look or feel overly
Natural,
ergonomic. Something...
Your hand is supposed to be like really
this
more...
thing that you were saying about the other week, where you hold it like sort of...
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
And they're expensive, as you're saying. Like right now, I'm surfing on Amazon, and they're like 50. Well, it's not too bad. $40. It's not that expensive. But there is some of them that are actually
But is that going to be a good gaming mouse at the same time? We ought to try and contact some of these companies and get some ergonomic / gaming mice together, try them out and give some honest feedback. I think that would be...
I'm not that deep within the FPS, so the reflex of everything that a real FPS player is doing is not the same thing for me because I'm more than amateur. Well, I'm not that much of an amateur, but I mean, like, sim game,
spoken like a true gamer. I'm
not that much
special,
amateur.
But,
I'm kind of professional.
I'm above average, obviously, but
I'm like high there.
You know,
But in
there's like
but at
the
risk,
zombies and the aliens here, and you know, I'm just below that, just tapping on that.
exactly. I know my things, Rare.
I'm currently sporting my second Logitech G502, I think it is. I'll get the correct one up on the screen, but it's got the weights in the bottom. Oh, so yeah, it is a G502. Says it on the bottom.
I used to have one. It was a great one. It was actually with wires and it was doing terrific. Then my house got flooded. I think I spent like around $200 for it, and I did have the
Wow.
weights on it, and did make a difference and so on. But yeah, and this one's actually at $20, and I do regret to have bought it. But yeah, hold on, let me take a look here if I have the stats about it. So yeah, it's actually this one here. It's not, it's discontinued, and yeah, it's a 4 DPI level 6 programmable buttons and so on. But yeah, it's a weird one. Not only that, it's like in fake plastic. So in that case, it's aggravating. It
Yeah.
is like when you're playing and everything. It's sticky faster, so I have to clean it all the time. I usually have a box of alcohol wipes soon close. So another point that I forgot: the keyboard is actually high quality. It's a Razer one, the SB 700, I think. Or hold on, that's the EV. Hold on. Ornata version 3. I love this thing. And I just learned yesterday that I could actually go ahead and buy the keys that are missing. But
Oh,
I tried
nice.
the one from, and I tried the one that my son has, my old one, that was actually having really thin keys. And I'm like, ugh, where's my keyboard? I missed it. I really missed it. Because it's really tiny. It's really good. I really wish you guys can check it. And I feel this is actually fitting at the same time, right? But the other thing that I was also thinking is, since we're talking about my shoulder, I wonder if I did get, those little keypads that we get? You know what I'm talking about? Some gamer get it for FPS.
Yeah.
I wonder if I should get one for playing sim games, because that could also be something interesting.
Do you know, I've often looked at those and considered the idea at least, but never sort of taken the plunge because it's an extra cost for another. You know, I do have a lot of gear. I don't want to go over the top all the time with my gear. Very
Yeah,
much
exactly.
what I do here is meant to be on a budget. I've got a final question to burn us out,
Sure.
which was a faux pas, but actually quite a convenient one. We've discovered pain. We've covered food. We haven't discovered pain. let me rephrase that.
We knew it was there for sure.
We've covered pain, food, and
Hmm.
gear, ergonomic gear, but we've not discussed mental grind. But if gaming for hours leave you foggy and snappy or wired towards everybody else in your home, your family, or whatever, is that something that we should be concerned about? And if so, how do we manage that?
That's where the struggle is, because recording videos for a gaming channel is a lot of time consuming, because we have to record it, then you have to edit it. So then you have to change the voice. You have to change the level of the gameplay versus the level of the voice. You have to find the title. You have to go ahead and put the description. You have to go ahead and get the thumbnail done and so on. So it's a lot of time consuming. So therefore, all that satisfaction that we want to do into one episode, for me, often it's not complete. I have to stop at certain levels so I have something to show in the next episode, right?
Yeah.
On a sim game, especially in Mind Mogul and everything. Oh, you unlock the new furnace. That's great. You want to use it, but now you have to actually do route all your convoyers back to this new furnace. Oh, you found a new place where you can actually go ahead and put miners. That's great, but now you have to put all your convoy. So every time that you discover something implies that you have to do so many other things, right? It is extremely satisfying, I have to admit. But when you're recording, we don't have all the luxury to go ahead and go all the way we want to go, right? Does that? Am I the only one, or do you agree? Or
I completely agree with you that as soon as you start doing this as a business, which is what YouTube is for me and has been for a long time, it becomes a totally different sort of beast, so to speak.
Mhm.
For one thing, before I started having a YouTube channel, I would never sit there talking for 3 hours at a time about what it is I'm doing. I would just enjoy doing it, probably in silence, laugh if something was funny, shout if something scared me. But now I'm sort of almost monitoring what I'm doing throughout the whole thing. So I'm all over the
And that's
place
where
a lot of the time as well.
And that's why also it must, like, as you're saying, and we talked about this before we go live, since you have different channel at the same time, it's a lot of work. I have one
Yes.
channel right now that I'm doing sim game that is really going to sim and building and also automation kind of situation niche, right? So sometimes we also have that frustration of I can't be playing what I want as much as I want because my niche is this, right? And from what you said, you're actually in the same boat as this, because we have to follow what our niches is if we want to continue having those views.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the most difficult dynamics that YouTube has basically forced upon me, is rather than being a channel that covers simulation, and I'd like to do a podcast in the future, maybe I'm just coming up with an idea now. Simulation seems to be a very popular gaming genre right now, but
Mhm.
I don't really regard a lot of the simulation games as simulators. I think they're more simcades. And I've probably mentioned this before,
Mhm.
but necessarily mean or touchy or short-tempered with the family. But I feel like I don't want to talk too much. I've
Yeah.
been talking for hours. I just want to be a bit quiet. You can talk to me
And
as long as you're happy with one-word answers. We'll have a conversation
exactly.
like that.
Don't ask too much. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
But the thing is, as you're saying, like as you saw, my wife is also going live. She's doing live stream all the time, and we both are streaming all the time. She does her different because she does have like a refuge for animals and so on. But when she's because I do live or I do recording all day, then at night I do editing. So at night I'm a little bit more into kind of a slower zone and so on. So at one point when I it's nighttime and I want to go to sleep, she just finished her live. So she's in the hype of having hundreds of people talking to her. So it's like, let's talk. And I'm like, no, thank you. I'm good.
I 100% agree. I think one of the things I'm trying to build into my routine in 2026 is some downtime, some time
Mhm.
away from gaming, a bit of a break, a bit of a reset. And even, in between, let's say I'm doing 2 reviews in one day, I really try not to go straight from one into the next. I need to go
Mhm.
get 20 minutes, have a drink, have a stretch, do some walking.
Mhm.
It really is important for your mental health, not just your physical health, to have that.
And and that's why I'm recording like in advance. So right now I do have like 2 weeks in advance. So I can take the weekend off. It's gonna be we're recording this on the 13th of December.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Friday the 13th, by the way. Ooh.
Oh.
And so that means that tomorrow is actually going to be Valentine's Day. So I want to spend
Oh,
time with the
yes.
loved one. Just a reminder if you didn't buy any flowers or anything, just want to remind you that.
No, I'm very
I
smart.
hope
I
she's
do
not
that
listening
well
to the
ahead of
podcast,
time.
but you know.
Family does come first. I mean, above all else.
Yes.
I mean, the whole reason why we're doing this whole YouTube thing is in an attempt to create something that will help support our families. I mean, that is the whole point
Mhm.
of it all. So forgetting your family whilst doing that is obviously uh, not the right way to do it.
No, exactly. Mhm.
So Wolsey, thank you so
Appreciate it.
much, buddy. You're an absolute star, a legend in the making.
Thank you, sir.
And to
I'm
anyone
so happy
listening,
to be here all the time.
please do take the time to stand up, stretch, drink at least 2 liters of water. Adjust your chair, your seating position, maybe upgrade your chair if you're in Wolsey's situation.
Yeah,
And
we're looking for sponsors. What am I going to say? But yeah, definitely.
yeah, give us another one of those chair wobbles before we go. Yeah. Come on, sponsors. Help us out. Help us to help you. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being here. We'll see you next time in the Sim Shack. Till then, take care. Bye for now.
Create creators of art. Hey, in the world of gaming, we each play a part. Hey, discussion flows freely on immersive sound. AI and audio where new worlds are found. Hardware and controllers, we dig deep inside, unraveling stories where memories reside. From the joy of a console to Simcade delight. Let's toast to developers. Your favorite game, tell us
Here we
what
go.
makes it first game you ever played, let those memories align. In the Sim Shack we'll talk about it all, from gaming's rich past to the future's core simulators.
Do me a favor, just do a quick audio check.
Join us each week under neon lights. We'll chat with the best creators of art.
So weirdly,
In the world
shaking my head like that, I just turned both my earphones off.
Invite our guest content creators
I
to
thought I heard them
share
beeping
publishers
by
and
the way.
developers with stories so rare. Through the lens of our laughter, we'll face what's ahead. Gaming today, tomorrow, with joy we are fed. Past meets the future in a shimmering frame. The Sim Shack podcast, we're here to reclaim.
Oh, it'd be nice when it's
In
summer.
the
I don't
Sim
have to
Shack
wear all
we'll
this.
talk about it all, from gaming's rich
Keep me
past
warm,
to the
yeah.
future's core simulators.
Exactly.
Graphics so bright.
Okay.
Join us each week under neon lights. We'll chat with the best creators of art. Yeah, in the world of gaming, we each play a part.
See, that's what I was looking for. Like, we need a sponsor for a podcast. I need a chair and mouse. What else do we need?
Futures are bright, from Sim UK's wisdom to Wallsy's sweet tone. In the Sim Shack podcast, you'll never be alone. Let's journey together through pixels and dreams. In the world of gaming, it's more than it seems.